spins, A-star quizzes, A+ the final. Vocals we align, we'll move it all simultaneously over joints we rock. We earn 30 years so you can say we got 3 turns. Live off the board, unlike you and your chess men. We install doubt in you and your yes men. And if the game had veins, we'll insert upheaval the ground. Cause the adrenaline we blend with the sound is our thing. We're leaving the kings of all crowns. Are you ready? Are you set? Then jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go. Keep it steady, to the letter, right? Turn it up, y'all keep the flow. But can you rock it like rocket fuel? What you talking about? Space out your mind. But can you rock it like rockets, fool? That's a close encounter of what kind?
Coach, the rain is falling, the fans are soaked, but here's the bottom line. We've got football at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Indianapolis Colts and the Baltimore Ravens. This one fielded at the 5. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line.
At their own 32-yard line.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll run it here. This is Marlon Mack. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to say?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. But just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. Now Rivers. They'll try and set up the screen to Hines. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Nyheim Hines, his 6th touchdown of the season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Well, it was 3rd and 1. I was expecting run, so much for that. They pass it, they score it.
That had the feel of the head coach telling the offensive coordinator, you've got 4 downs here. We're going to go for it on 4th down unless there's a disaster on 3rd. Go ahead and take a shot if you want to. And he gratefully accepted the opportunity and did exactly that. If they didn't get it there, that had the feel that they would come back and try it on 4th down.
And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 21. Now the first carry for Ty Montgomery. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
It's a loss of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 20-yard line.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Jackson from the shotgun. That's complete to DK Metcalf. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds.
At their own 28-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number one goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number two goal is win your division. Number three goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Throwing on second and long. Rivers looking for Campbell downfield. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Third and long for Rivers. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
Well, it's third and long, and you've got a few different ways to play it offensively. But this is not the type of offense that's going to wave the white flag. They're going to keep chucking it. And this time, it results in an interception.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. After the interception, here's Jackson. He's going deep for Brown. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Malik Hooker. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. They're trying to resurrect his confidence. Last week was a disaster. 5 interceptions in that loss, and another pick there.
I played with a quarterback like this before, and he had a tough game, and the head coach said, I'll take him, I'll fix him. The very next game, he's
accelerating, and off he goes. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Nyheim Hines with his second touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Colts strike quickly here for 6 points. Extra point try now for Crosby. And we'll see if this rain affects the team's decisions going forward, but they kick it here, and it's good. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game.
He's got daylight. And they'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Marquise Brown, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good, and that'll make our score 14-7. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line.
At their own 21-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. They'll run on first down with Marlon Mack. Give the tackle to Hassan Reddick.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Now it's Hines. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Indianapolis moving the chains there on a gain of 12. Well, they're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Rivers incomplete on first down. Here's 2nd and 10.
26 months.
They run with Hines. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had the incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
And the line to gain here is the 37 on 3rd down. On 3rd down, a run by Mack. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stuffed them for almost no gain.
And this will be a long field goal if the skies were clear, but here in the rain and the elements, they'll go for it on 4th. Now Rivers on 4th down. He'll find Paris Campbell. That's complete. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. Well, they deemed it 4-down territory, and they got 4 yards to pick up the first. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll run it out of the gun with Mack. And he'll snag about 5 yards down to the 32.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
At the Ravens' 32-yard line.
Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
Check 99.
Through one quarter, 14-7 our score.
Check, 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 check. 6-6, pull it high. White, 89.
On second down now. It's Hines, and he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
The Colts on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Here's Hines. And he's going to get the first down as they bring him down at the 23. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
390! 390! Switch gears.
They'll run on first down. Hines. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. They'll try to throw here. Rivers. They'll run the screen with Mack. He's got the first down inside the 10. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
Black 15!
They'll try to run with Hines. And no signal yet. I don't think he got in. He didn't. They'll mark him at the 1. No gain on the play, and it's going to be 2nd and goal.
Leads to 2nd and goal at the 1-yard line.
Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal.
Two times. Hey. 4 down. Hey, check 24.
Looking to run with Mack. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
So now it's 3rd and goal. This Raven defense trying to keep him out of the end zone. Rivers now. And he's got his target. It's caught for a Colts touchdown. A 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage. No surprise there. 3rd and goal down here. That's where they're going to look for their tight end.
Yeah, you want that big guy running his routes because it doesn't matter who they cover him with. If it's another big guy, he might use his bulk against him. If it's a shorter defender, might go over the top. Either way, you tend to find a little bit of a mismatch in that area.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road, How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
And on this play, the read for the quarterback was the defensive end, and he was totally focused on the quarterback. He should have given it off inside to the running back. Instead, he kept it and ended up taking a loss on the play.
Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Kenny Moore. You don't see this often. A quarterback of his caliber, 2 first-half interceptions.
It's absolutely surprising because it happens so rarely. You're searching for what reason, what's going on out there. It's not just maybe the defense is playing well. Is his horoscope off? His biorhythms? What is it?
You went horoscope on us, David.
Well, I was thinking maybe REM sleep was off. I'm trying to come up with something.
Anything, right? They begin the drive with Hines. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. That's good for an Indianapolis first down on a gain of 10.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
Set. 380.
Mike, 45. Down to lose 1. Kill.
This is Hines. And give him about 5 as he gets this up to the 48-yard line.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. On 2nd down, here's a run with Mack. And he'll get it down here to the 43. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. The 20, 10, and he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. And a great return as they're finally able to take him down. You think you're going into halftime with a good-sized lead? Not so fast. That pick 6 really changes the complexion, probably also changes the halftime speech.
No doubt about it. Instead of going in relaxed, you're probably a little more uptight right now, probably a little bit angry. Let's see if they can get their focus back.
Tucker with the extra point, and they're back within a touchdown at 21-14. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Set.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone.
Hey, Rocket.
He's coming. Double up.
On play action, Rivers. This is caught. And out of bounds all the way down at the 3. A good pickup there of 20 yards. A nice little completion there by Phillip Rivers. And you and I were reading the article yesterday, 5th grade. Rivers had to do a project where he had to make a poster about his dreams and aspirations. So he clipped out a football player from a magazine article and pasted his face on the helmet. That's what he wanted to be, and it turned out okay.
Not so bad. Not so bad at all. Remember, he's the son of a coach. And on that play, I think he made the old coach proud with that completion.
And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line.
It's a loss of 5. Brings up 2nd and goal at the 8-yard line.
It's 2nd and goal back to the 8-yard line now.
Hey, exit. Hey, wait, 89.
Here's Rivers to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know, there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
Set, we're okay, we're okay. Set, 180. 12. I'm coming after you. What?
3rd and goal for Rivers. And that is caught. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Phillip Rivers with his 3rd touchdown pass of the game. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the 2nd quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the 2nd half.
This fielded at the 2. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line.
At their own 24-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on 1st down, and it's something that's sick.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here.
He's checking.
They don't want to repeat a 1st down. They'll keep it on the ground. And he'll just keep 2 hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup. They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on 3rd down. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. And for the Colts, an extra defensive back in there now on 3rd down. And they'll indeed stop him on 3rd down. And now what do you want to do with your timeouts? Now the Colts going to burn the 2nd of their timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. On is the punter, Cook, who sends it away. This is brought in at the 21. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
You got tight. You got tight right there.
Zero.
Final play of the half, Rivers. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down. So we've reached the intermission in what right now is a 13-point game. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half.
Good work, boys. Let's go. Let's go.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by Malik Hooker. Wow, between last week and this week, that's now 8 interceptions. 5 a week ago, now 3 here.
Well, he is so lucky that one of the defense coordinators I played for, a man named Ken Donahue, is not there right now. Because he saw that happen during his coaching career, and he grabbed a quarterback in the midst of a streak like this and said, tell you what, son, why don't you throw it to the defensive guys, and let's see if our receivers can intercept it.
Well, he's got to figure something out because the current formula is not working.
Hey, Brown 80!
Who that?
On first down, it's Hines, and he'll get about 5 here as he'll take this down inside the 20-yard line.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Rush in.
Hey, go orange. Orange. Hey.
26.
Behind!
They run again with Hines. And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. Scampering home from 19 yards out. And the Colts use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Now here's Rivers. He'll bring his guys up, and they'll go for the 2-point conversion. Rivers to throw it toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite, but in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a 2-point conversion, all that extra, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And last time wasn't pretty. 1 play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Jackson. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
And that's his 2nd sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens.
Let's go. Hey, we got Mike, number 53. Mike, 53. Hey. 53's the Mike. 53. Check 53.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Jackson. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Jadeveon Clowney in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Here's Sam Cook now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Taking it about the 36. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Colts come to the line, ready to start their next drive.
Hey, watch it, watch it.
Room. Alpha.
45.
Go, go.
45. You don't want nothing.
Rivers now to throw on 1st down. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. Calais Campbell, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Throwing Rivers. He's got his target. That's Zach Pascal. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50.
Step 180. Round 80.
54. Let's go, let's go.
Rivers now from the 50. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Matt Judon has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
Well, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big, but sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack a screen?
Typically a blitz, and even though people think that the screen operates against the blitz, if you have the blitz called and you still cover the screen, now that allows your blitzers to get there.
And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. To throw is Jackson. Going to throw again. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Jadeveon Clowney, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. That's number 4. Sack number 4. They had 4 last week, so he's been down on the ground a lot.
Partner, they say the eye in the sky does not lie. And that's indeed the case because they watched the game tape from the previous week, incorporated it into their own defensive scheme, and continued to get after this quarterback.
And contend, and all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Hollywood Marquise Brown, 89 yards, and the Ravens get a bit closer. Well, if they're going to make a game of this in the second half, they need a few big plays to go their way. That's one.
And the way to get it done is to also conserve time. So to your point, that big play right there, now you're not moving the ball downfield, taking time off the clock. You're leaving yourself a better avenue to continue to try and make a comeback.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go.
At their own 25-yard line.
Stay there.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession. That was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
They're going to need some therapy after this.
On the ground, it's Mack. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
They go right back to Mack. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. That's fielded at the 8-yard line. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They come in off a touchdown drive the last time they had the ball to cut down that lead. Now the defense has done their part, got them the football back.
Momentum started to shift a little bit when they scored the touchdown. It increased when the defense got them the ball back. Momentum definitely in their favor. Now they got to keep things cranking, keep it on high so they can keep cutting into that lead.
At the 25-yard line.
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. To throw is Jackson. He's going deep for Brown. And that one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football here. Nearly a 4th pick. And it's 3rd down.
At the 3rd down and 10 yards to go.
Now this will probably be the last play of the quarter. On 3rd down, Jackson. He's going deep for Brown. And that's caught inside the 35. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Marquise Brown, 75 yards, as his guys are back within a single score.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that into the broadcast.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. This game has really flipped on its head. 2 unanswered touchdowns by the other side, and now they take over here with just a very slim 1-score lead.
We've seen this how many times now? Teams get a big lead, they go into coast mode, and all of a sudden they're scrambling and battling for a win down the stretch. They've got to put something together right here, otherwise they're in danger of doing the old snatching defeat from the jaws of victory.
Hey, ready?
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Hines. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
The Colts on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 9. They'll try the left side. Hines. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That one for Indianapolis, resulting in 15 yards and a fresh set of downs.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Check green 90, green 80.
45. Hey, watch the slant. Watch the slant.
White, 80 high.
On 1st and 10, Rivers. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And some room to maneuver. And now nothing but green ahead of him. And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. A 4th touchdown pass there for Phillip Rivers. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage. That's a pretty quick response to that last touchdown drive, and it seemed like they had maybe given up momentum. Not so fast.
No, not at all, because they ended up pushing the lead up once again, and you're exactly right. Thought momentum might have been shifting. Instead, they grabbed old Mo, didn't let him get to the opposite sideline.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Jackson now on 2nd and 10. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. DeForest Buckner able to record his 5th sack of the season. They go play action with Jackson. They'll roll him out right. That'll be taken in there by Miles Boykin. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Jackson on 1st down. Steps away to his left. This will be caught by Brown. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. Throwing is Jackson. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Jadeveon Clowney make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
To try again after the sack. Jackson buying time to his left. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field that's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense, because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
Check 59. Mike is 59. Mike to 59.
And watch delay.
Jackson now, throwing on 3rd and long. He's going to let this go for the end zone. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
3
Fourth down, here's Jackson. Forced out to his left. And no, it's incomplete. John Harbaugh not afraid to go for it this time. Doesn't work out. And the Colts are going to take over with a football. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Hines. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. 5 yards on the carry there, and it leaves him with 3rd and about 6 yards to go.
And this is an absolutely big 3rd down that's been set up here, partner, and there's no other way to put it. The defense has to get a stop here if they have any hopes of winning this game.
Has to. You said big 3rd down. I'd put the word big in capital letters here.
Check nine, check nine. Load it, load it.
On 3rd down, Hines. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a 4th down here in a game that looks to have been decided already. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And you can't do it much better than that. This ball kicks out of bounds at the 4-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb.
You can't block me. You can't.
Now Jackson on 1st down. In trouble, and the ball's out. It's in the end zone loose.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
It's going to be a long day, offense. It's going to be a long day.
On 2nd and 9, Jackson. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. Tried to go for the big one there on 2nd down. Now they're likely down to their final 2 plays.
And you know they've got to keep going for the big shot, right? So defensively, you play what they call top down. Nothing behind you. Make everything get completed in front.
This one into the hands of Metcalf. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th. Jackson now. And he's got his man, Marquise Brown. 12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first. Catch number 100 for his career right there, and it's good enough to keep the chains moving.
First and 10 at the 24-yard line.
Throwing now, Jackson on 1st down. He's going to let it fly. And got his man complete. They'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Miles Boykin, 76 yards, as his guys are back within a single score. Tucker now to add the point after. And this is back to a 5-point game. So with just over a minute to play, this becomes a make-or-break onside kick. And this is going to be taken in by the Colts. A big mistake in that spot. You got to let it go 10.
They didn't give themselves a chance. They had an opportunity, touched it first. Now they're in a really bad spot.
Check, green 80, ground 80.
Here we go.
Check, 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 check. Watch the safety creep. Hey, check 24, check 24. Cluster. Under pressure. Behind.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Nyheim Hines, 38 yards. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage. Crosby connects on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line.
At their own 24-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that? Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he takes this one into the end zone, and all of a sudden, here in the final minute, things get a little bit tighter. Now Tucker to add the PAT. And this is back to a 5-point game. So a little under 50 seconds to go. Plenty of time if they can get this onside kick. And the Colts are going to recover the football. And that should be enough to get them home. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when we score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here. Rivers to throw. They'll try and set up the screen to Hines. Past the 20. There he goes, right side. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Nyheim Hines, 43 yards. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage. Extra point was hooking, but he does make it through. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line.
Let's go.
At their own 28-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. What do you do here down like this in this situation? Do you maybe just pick something out of the playbook you haven't called in a while, or you call it a day?
You can do that, or you pick something that's a staple for you and should work better and try and execute that on the way out the door and maybe get back to base and feel a little bit better as you end a ball game that's been a frustrating one for you.
And we'll see if they go back to base. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. Now Jackson throwing again. Got him in. It's Brown. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 14 seconds to go in the game.
First and 10 at the 38-yard line.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
You're not ready. You're not ready. Check. 53's Mike. Check. 53.
Play action. Now Jackson. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. Incomplete. And we're down to 8 seconds now.
Intended for Miles Boykin.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Here's Jackson to throw again. Able to get away. Runs through the contact. It's brought in here by Willie Snead. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Indianapolis, the win will help them keep pace in the playoff race as they move to 6-3 on the year. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Ravens, it's just their 2nd loss so far to go along with their 7 wins. And they'll try to get back on the beam next week as they'll head to Cleveland to take on the Browns. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
Tell me what you want, what you need. Tell me what you wanna give. How much blood would you bleed? I'ma tell you I'm a misconceiver. I'm a believer. Someone better kick my fever. Tell me it's 100 degrees underneath my whole flesh. Everyone tells me it's a bit of a mess. I'ma tell the risk I was never at the end. I would never get it off my chest though. I'm forgetful. Someone better tell me I was always on the edge. Overstay your bearings, I would never underestimate. Oh baby, my bets are off. Everything was better off. Oh baby, my bets are off. Everything was better off. Take your eyes off me, don't want to see me when I'm gone. Moral of the story was you're wrong. Everything I gave and everything I lost. Good things come at a cost. I left it on your head and when you ever overstated. Your thoughts are never everything you wanted when you want. I'ma take it in the head with the signs of the distort. I'ma leave it on the side on the Christ when I press. Let me speak on behalf of the dead. I'ma leave, I'ma speak, I'm sick in the head. Come on. Come on. Oh baby, my bets are off. Everything was better off. Oh baby, my bets are off. Everything was better off. Till the risk I was never at the end. I would never get it off my chest though. I'm forgetful. Someone better tell me I was always on the edge. Overstay your bearings, I would never underestimate. Oh baby, my bets are off. Everything was better off. Oh baby, my bets are off. Everything was better off.
Rick Rock. Tick-tock. West hip-hop. Are you ready for some football? Ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. Down in Mississippi and New Orleans,
Big Snoop Dogg got a Madden league. His team is off the hook and you don't really want none, but if you do, come and get some. See, tell your mama and tell your daddy and tell the whole damn world this is Madden territory. Tell your mama and tell your daddy and tell the whole damn world this is Madden territory. Come get some if you want some, but you ain't bad enough, so you can't take none. I'm Big Snoop Dogg and I'm the only one. And when it comes to Madden, all y'all fools my sons. Haha, bag up off me and watch you lose. Snoop Dogg is on the mic, I'm giving Madden blues. And if you choose to run up on me, you gon' get laid out so fast. Cause I can get you with the run or I can hit you with the pass. Come on. I can't be touched and I can't be schemed. Roll it when I'm in a mud league. 2-0, Madden time on you suckers. Y'all can't get close, so why you wanna touch us? Cause my team is so hard, my team is legit. Madden 20, Snoop Dogg is, I get it. Come on. I got cleats on my feet, jersey on my back, helmet on my head, ready to attack like that. Down in Mississippi and New Orleans, Big Snoop Dogg got a Madden league. His team is off the hook and you don't really want none, but if you do, come and get some. See, tell your mama